Good morning. These are your BYU-Idaho radio morning headlines for Thursday, January 23rd, 2025. I'm Chandler Guadagnine. 5 teenagers have been found accountable for the explosion that was heard in December of last year in Jefferson County. According to Local News 8, the Jefferson County Prosecuting Attorney's Office determined the 5 teenagers were guilty after a police officer found the teens during the investigation of the boom. He found the teens filling milk jugs with gasoline, then putting them by a tannerite and shooting the tannerite, which made them explode and caused a massive fireball and boom sound. The prosecutor says the teenagers received appropriate consequences. A Boise woman has rejected President Donald Trump's pardon, which he gave to over 1,500 of the rioters from the January 6th attack. According to the Idaho Statesman, 71-year-old Pamela Hemphill is declining Trump's pardon for several reasons. She spoke with the Idaho Statesman saying, quote, "The J6 criminals are trying to rewrite history by saying that it was not a riot. It wasn't an insurrection. I don't want to be a part of their trying to rewrite what happened that day," close quote. She was previously sentenced to 2 months in jail, 3 years of probation, and a $500 fine back in 2022. The David O. McKay Library at BYU-Idaho has a new series called Book Talks, where faculty members present books that changed their lives. The first talk is today. Ella Ziegler has the story.
Miscommunication is the scandal that motivates the very concept of communication in the first place, said John Peters in his book, Speaking into the Air. The book speaks about how communication is really miscommunication and the beauty and meaning behind it. It's a topic that BYU-Idaho communication professor Dr. Lane Williams is passionate about.
Much of the world has thought about communication and wanted things that they're perfect. If we can just communicate, then everything will be fine. Well, we're in a fallen world. We're in a world where, like in so many other ways, we're never going to be able to perfectly communicate.
In the McKay Library's new series, Book Talks, Books That Changed Me, Williams will present his insights on Peter's book and share the impact it had on his life.
I'm going to bring in the idea that we get from ether, that God gives us weaknesses, that we can be humble, and thereby the Lord can strengthen us. And that can happen through our miscommunications. That can happen through those moments.
The book talk is Thursday at the library on campus in room 294, and it starts at 4:30 p.m. Williams' talk kicks off the series for the semester and will be followed by 2 additional faculty book talks.
There is no university without a library. There's no university without ideas that can change the world. And most of them have moved the world forward. And that's why we're here. It's not just to get a career. Hopefully it's to become a great disciple. Hopefully it's to become a career, but it's also to be changed by powerful ideas and powerful things that come through books.
You can find more information about the series on Facebook at BYU-Idaho David O. McKay Library. For BYU-Idaho Radio, I'm Ella Ziegler.
Thanks, Ella, and thank you for making us a part of your morning routine. These have been your morning headlines for January 23rd, 2025. We've got more news, great interviews, and content for you on our podcast feed. Search for BYU-Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps. We're on SoundCloud, Spotify, and Stitcher. You can also ask your smart speakers to play KBYI 94.3 FM. Make it a great one. I'm Chandler Guadagnine, and this is BYU-Idaho Radio.